Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trevette.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Papa was a rolling stone. Airports. In the bookstore. Name that century. Odd words. And science. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player one, make a selection. Marcia Hunt was the mom of his first child, Karis. He had daughter number 2, Jade, with Bianca. Here's what we were looking for. Mick Jagger. You get to pick again, player one. This guitarist originally named one daughter Dandelion. She goes by Angela these days. Here's the correct response. Keith Richards. Please pick again, player one. This bassist wed Mandy Smith. After the two split, his son dated Mandy's mom. He could have been stepdad to his ex-stepmom. Here's the response we were looking for. Bill Wyman. You again, player one. Knock on this guitarist, Leah and Tyrone's dad, who joined the band in 1975. We're talking about Ronnie Wood. Select again. It's the Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. What are you going to wager? And the clue. Serafina's Pop. He began manning the drums for the Stones in 1963. Sorry. The correct response is Charlie Watts. You get to pick again, player one. Denver International has North America's longest commercial one of these, 3 miles long. Here's the correct response. A runway. You again, player one. At St. Petersburg Clearwater Airport in this state, a plaque marks the 1914 sale of the first air travel ticket. The correct response is Florida. Player one, back to you. This mayor presided over the construction of New York City's first municipal airport. We're talking about Fiorello LaGuardia. Player one, choose again. A company called BAA operates Southampton, Stansted, and Glasgow, but this is its busiest airport. Here's the response we were looking for. Heathrow. You get to pick again, player one. At this European city's airport, you can have a sandwich and, of course, a coffee at the Café Karen Blixen. Here's the correct response. Copenhagen. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Fever, 1793, depicts a teen's struggle during the 1793 epidemic of this colorful fever in Philadelphia. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Please pick again, player one. Ahab's wife tells a whale of a tale about a character mentioned briefly in this classic novel. It's player one. Hey, you're right. Great, you're back into it now. Player one, you pick again, please. Hope Was Here is a book about a teen waitress at the Welcome Stairways Diner in this dairy state. Yes, player one? That is correct. Player one, back to you. Take a bite out of The Vampire Armand, the 6th book in her Vampire Chronicles. Here's what we were looking for. Anne Rice. Player one, choose again. A secret code called New Shu is pivotal to the plot of Snowflower and the Secret Fan, set in this country? Here's the correct response. China. Player 1, you pick again, please. Ben Franklin flew a kite and invented the lightning rod. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right you are. You again, Player 1. The Impressionists exhibited their paintings for the first time. Here's the correct response. The 19th. Player 1, choose again. London experienced its deadly Great Fire. Here's what we were looking for. The 17th. Player 1, pick again. Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain got married and united their kingdoms. Yes, Player 1? Good. We return to you, Player 1. Rodent-borne plague killed off a third of Europe's population. Yes, Player 1? Right you are. Player 1, back to you. Dumbledore is actually an old word for this insect. J.K. Rowling imagined him humming all the time. Okay, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. A bumblebee. Player 1, choose again. The name of this light, crinkled fabric comes from the Persian shur or shakar, meaning milk and sugar. We're talking about seersucker. Player 1, choose again. The fact that clavate means shaped like this isn't something you have to hit me over the head with. Here's the correct response. A club. Select again. Too much time enjoying potent potables? You could end up with a Katzenjammer, one of these. Okay, Player 1. That's it. Please pick again, Player 1. Robinsonade is not a refreshing drink. It's a novel similar in theme to a work by this author. Here's the response we were looking for. Daniel Defoe. Player 1, back to you. The third law of thermodynamics implies that a system can never be brought to this temperature point. Player 1.
Yeah!
Hey, you're right. Player 1, you pick again, please. In 2006, Israeli scientists claim to have created the ball type of this stormy phenomenon using a microwave oven. Player 1? No, sorry. The correct response is lightning. You again, Player 1. Kelly?
Symbolized lambda, the total distance covered by one complete cycle of oscillation from peak to peak or trough to trough is called this.
Yes, Player 1? No, sorry. Here's the correct response. The wavelength. Select again. We went underground to learn this unit is equal to about 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd power molecules of a substance. The correct response is a mole. And now the $1,000 clue. In 2007, Intel announced a new, faster chip design replacing this 14th element with hafnium. Here's what we were looking for. Silicon. The Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are Title Possessions, Arctic Animals, The Movie of the Song, Old, Odd, and Obscure Words, Questions from a 1927 quiz book, and Colleges and Universities. All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. Of Henry Adams. Here's the response we were looking for. The Education. You again, player one. Of Edwin Drood. Here's the correct response. The Mystery. Player one, you pick again, please. Of Nat Turner. Okay, player one. You got it. Player one, pick again. Of Duddy Kravitz. The correct response is The Apprenticeship. Select again. Of Young Werther. Here's the response we were looking for. The Sorrows. Please pick again, player one. This large bee of the genus Bombus can range from Tierra del Fuego in South America to far beyond the Arctic Circle. Here's what we were looking for. Bumblebee. We return to you, player one. Here's Sarah.
Polar bears are well equipped for Arctic weather. Not only do they have thick fur and a layer of insulating fat, but their skin is this color, which helps it absorb the sun's rays.
Player one. You are correct. You again, player one. Alaska pipelines were constructed so as to allow this Arctic deer unimpeded passage to feeding grounds. Here's what we wanted. Caribou. Player one, pick again. Greenland right whales have the longest of these thin plates of any whale. They may reach 13 feet. Player one. No, sorry. We're talking about baleen. Player one, choose again. As fall turns to winter, the Arctic A. lagopus, produces less pigment and changes from brown to white. We're talking about fox. You again, player one. Lose Yourself, 2002. Here's the response we were looking for. 8 Mile. Player one, pick again. A Whole New World, 1992. Here's the correct response. Aladdin. Select again. Answer. The first of the daily doubles. You are in first place. So, what's your wager? The clue. Let's hear it for the boy. 1984. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Footloose. Player one, you pick again, please. Zippity-doo-dah, 1947. Yes, player one? No, sorry. Here's the correct response. Song of the South. Player one, back to you. Papa, Can You Hear Me? 1983. The correct response is Yentl. You get to pick again, player one. There's no beating around this archaic term for a wine shop or tavern. Here's the correct response. The bush. Player one, back to you. It really burns me up that febrific means having one of these. Here's the correct response. A fever. Player one, you pick again, please. Lacrimiform literally means shaped like this. The correct response is a tear. Player one, pick again. A thurible is an ornamental container in which this is burned during a religious ceremony. The correct response is incense. Player 1, pick again. Wynton Marsalis should know that to bissonate means to blow this horn, his specialty. Here's the response we were looking for. The trumpet. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Article 10 of this international organization's covenant implies that an attack on one is an attack on all. It's Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we wanted. League of Nations. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Alfred E. Smith and William Gibbs McAdoo were two of the candidates for this party's presidential nomination in 1924. Here's what we wanted. The Democratic Party. Player 1, choose again. This cabinet department is in charge of the enforcement of prohibition. Okay, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. The correct response is Treasury. Player 1, choose again. The Tacna-Arica boundary line dispute involves Chile and this neighbor to the north. Here's what we wanted. Peru. You again, Player 1. The present presiding officer of the U.S. Senate is this vice president. The correct response is Charles G. Dawes. Player 1, you pick again, please. The 735-acre campus of this Baptist school is on the banks of the Brazos River in Waco, Texas. Here's what we wanted. Baylor. Player 1, you pick again, please. One of the most popular organizations at this state university in Louisiana is the Tiger Marching Band, founded in 1926. We're talking about Grambling. You again, Player 1. Answer. The other Daily Double. You are currently in the lead. You need to select your wager. Answer this. This college was intended to be the first college within the University of Dublin, but it's still the only one. Yes. Player 1, back to you. Charles, not Sonny, was the benefactor of this Medford, Massachusetts University. Here's what we were looking for. Tufts. Here's the $2,000 clue. Beloit College in this state was founded in 1846, while that state was still a territory. Here's the response we were looking for. Wisconsin. You will participate in Final Jeopardy right after this. We're back. The category for Final Jeopardy today is Traveling the Globe. Please enter your wager. Let's take a look at that Final Jeopardy clue right now. Flying due west from Los Angeles, it's the first foreign country you would reach. And your response? And this correct response will add how much to your score? This makes you our new champion, Player 1, so congratulations. So long, everybody.